What's up, everybody? P. Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. It's Warren Magazine Day once again here on the channel. You know, we love our horror and monster and thriller and mystery comics and magazines here on the channel. So today from 1970, we're going to take a look at Creepy number 35. Look at that glorious Ken Smith artwork on the front, people. So, you know, you got this swamp scene, I guess, right, or forest scene. You've got the green skull, and then this little beastie who's kind of sitting on the skull. And what's he doing there? He's like picking his teeth? Is he using that little twig or whatever as a toothpick? What is he doing? He's got one eye open, right? Kind of ambiguous, but just totally awesome. And I like how everything else is kind of like fuzzy and hazy, right? It's like really the only thing on this piece of artwork that's really crystal clear is the little beastie that's sitting on the skull. Everything else is kind of, maybe some of the foliage, right? But very, very cool. 60 cents, Ken Smith cover. Extra special issue featuring 9 great big stories of illustrated terror and fantastic suspense. All right, so of course we got editorial to the President of the United States and all the members of Congress on behalf of readers, most of whom are from 10 to 18 years old, right? And then we got table of contents page, right? So here in this particular issue, editor and publisher James Warren, associate editor Archie Goodwin, contributing editors Bill Parente, Nicola Cuti, cover Ken Smith, like I said, artists in this issue Pat Boyette, the brothers Quixote, Ernie Colon, Mike Royer, Sid Shores, the great Sid Shores, Bill Stillwell, Tom Sutton, and Alan Weiss. Writers this issue, Pat Boyette, T. Casey Brennan, Al Hewitson, R. Michael Rosen, Buddy Saunders, Bill Stillwell, Howard Waldrop, and Alan Weiss. Okay, like I mentioned, 1970. So we'll take you through some of this here. So of course, we've got some of the letters page, right? Interestingly enough, this particular issue, normally these Creepy and Eerie, the Warren magazines, have tons of really cool ads in them for other like horror and monster related stuff. Very little on the amount of ads in this issue, which I think is really, really different. This is mostly content. See, we have a little ad for, of course, the other great Warren title, Vampirella. Right, and then we got this first story, which is called Tough Customers, which is written by Tom Sutton. Actually, art by Tom Sutton, story by Michael Rosen. And this is the story of, it's kind of like a horror story featuring the mafia, right? The organized crime. So here we have, I guess, where is this taking place? It doesn't really say. But anyway, it's in a rainy place in a city, okay? And we've got 2 hitmen, or 2 tough guys from the mafia, from the mob, from the organized crime of this particular city that are going to Luigi's Laundry to collect money from Mr. Luigi. So here they go. Of course, this is money for protection. So they go, and of course he ain't got the money. So what do? They rough him up. They destroy the place, right? And then they make their way down the street. Their next stop is a place called Sam's Butcher Shop, which apparently is a new business in this area. So they're going to go and give him, the owner, a proposal to say, hey, we're here for your protection, so divvy up the cash. And basically there you have the owner, which is Sam, okay, and the butcher, and he's basically like, you need to leave. I'm not interested. And once they start to get tough with him, he basically throws them both out. And so they're like, holy cow, that guy is strong, that old man is strong. You know what, we're going to go back to the boss and we're going to let him know. So they go back to the boss. And basically, so the boss says, so you 2 bozos can't handle a crummy butcher, eh? I'll send over a couple of real torpedoes to straighten them out. So the 2 torpedo guys, so next up the chain, go to the butcher shop, to Sam's. And they basically, and the other 2 guys who failed the first time around are noticing that they never come out. So they're like, what's going on? So they go back to the big boss, and he hires a hitman to go down, which he does. He's got his machine gun and everything, goes down, starts shooting away, nothing works. So of course, then the big boss is like, well, this is getting ridiculous. I'm gonna have to take care of this myself. So he brings a bunch of heavies. They go down. They confront Sam the Butcher, and Sam the Butcher basically tells them, he's like, Mr. Laterra. So Snake Eyes Laterra is the name of the big boss. He goes, Mr. Laterra, I explained to your hirelings that I'll not require your protection. Now I really must insist you leave before my private customers arrive. Okay, chum, if you can't. If I can't sell your insurance, you'll buy lead, or sell you insurance, their protection. And so let him have it. So him and all the other stooges that he brought with him basically go and riddle him with bullets, but then they notice he's still standing. And then he goes, as your other men found out, now you're going to find out, my prices in my butcher are very high because these are very special cuts of meat, and I cater to a very special customer, and then out come the customers, and all of a sudden Mr. Laterra's men are no more, because apparently his customers are ghouls, and ghouls require human flesh, right? So that is the whole thing. So that ought to keep your meat freezer stocked for a while. And now, fellow ghouls, if you would make your purchases. So basically he is a ghoul himself. He caters to ghouls, and humans are what he sells in his butcher shop. Pretty cool. So then we've got a story called National Wizards, Legend in Gold. Okay, and this is art by Roger Brand, story by R. Michael Rosen. And this is just basically a wacky story, right, about a wizard convention. Okay. And this guy who's got all these this reminds me of a story I read in another recent issue, where he is looking to find some gold hidden in a different country and whatever. He's doing all this research, but he's got this side business where he does these wizard conventions, and it's mostly fake and everything like that. So he comes across this guy who's a physicist, and he's also into studying to find out where this hidden gold is. And so they agree to work together. They go and they travel. They do all their research, and he's thinking, I'll use some of the techniques that I've learned in doing all this wizardry. And they get to they get to the country. They think they find out, based on all the research they've done, where all this gold is hidden. And of course, the guy who's got the fake wizard convention, he now all of a sudden is like so excited, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be rich. The other guy's like, well, I think you need to go in slow, right? We need to be careful here, because there's a reason why nobody's discovered this stuff before. And then of course the other dude's got he's got ideas that, like, I'm gonna get rid of my little partner here, and I'm gonna take all of this for myself. And what does he do? He runs in, touches the gold, and he turns to gold, because it is fool's gold, and now he is part of the gold collection. There's a reason why nobody has taken it out of where it is, right? So here the next story is Wana Wizard, art by Early Cologne, story by Howard Waldrop. I found this one kind of convoluted. So not only that's just the way it's all set up, it's very hard to follow. Artwork is good, but there's a lot of dialogue, and just the way the whole thing is set up just really didn't make a lot of sense storyline wise. So I'm not even going to get too much into it, although the last page is really cool. Then we got a better story, Army of the Walking Dead. So here we go all the way to World War II. We've got the Nazis, right? And Hitler has employed this group of scientists to create like a super soldier almost. So one of the doctors he has created, basically he's taken the dead soldiers, the dead bodies, and created zombies that will do whatever it is he asks. Okay? So of course Hitler's coming here in a minute. Hitler's all excited by this, and he shows him how, it's like, listen, pick up the colonel, do this, right, whatever. Hitler's like, all right, we're going to apply a whole army of these zombies. We're going to go beat the Allies. And so that's what they do. So here we go onto the battlefield, and here we got the zombies who are going through the fields. They're getting shot at. Nothing's happening. They start killing the Allied soldiers, and all of a sudden they're like, the Germans are like, yeah, we're back in this war. We're going to win, right? But little do they know that the zombies need that scientist. They only take direction from him. So they're basically going out. He told them what to do. They go out, but of course time goes by and things happen, and all of a sudden you got to keep reminding them of what they need to do. So they come up with the idea they're going to fly him out into the battlefield so he continued to guide the zombies and tell them exactly what they're going to do. But then of course his plane goes down. His plane crashes. So the zombies now, they get distracted and they just basically, they turn around and they start attacking the German soldiers, start attacking the fellow Nazis here. So all of a sudden Hitler's like, oh my God, this plan is not happening here. Well, it turns out that the scientist, he actually lived, but he's all sorts of messed up, right? So he escapes from the plane and he goes to the battlefield. He goes up to the zombies to give them the orders. And then he realized that he broke his jaw in the crash of the plane, so he actually can't say anything to them. The zombies attack him. They kill him. And all of a sudden Hitler is now, we're not going to win the war, because now all of a sudden our zombies that we created, our super soldiers, are killing all of our men. And the Allies are all excited, and they bring in the artillery and the planes, and yeah, it's not looking good for the Nazis there. Here we got some cool fan club stuff. And then we have a story called Godslayer, which is art and story by Bill Stillwell. This is kind of more like a sword and sorcery fantasy type of thing. Okay, a guy and his lion, right, meets up with this woman. This is kind of a short one. And then they break into a kind of like a cave where there's some kind of ritual going on. So they breaks in, tries to overtake who's in there, and they got the big giant, kind of like statue thing, creature that's come to life. Nothing seems to be working. He's got this mallet, this magical mallet. It's not working. But what does he do? He actually goes, he figures what is driving this gigantic creature, right? He figures out that the woman is actually the one who's, making the creature do exactly what's going on. So instead what he does is he takes his mallet and he hurls it at the woman, smashes in her face, and then the giant creature subsides. And then he realizes what was, kind of controlling that big creature all along. And he goes about on his merry way. Not a lot happens there, but it's kind of cool. All right, here we have It's Grim, art by Sid Shores, story by Al Hewitson. Here we got two business partners. Okay. One of the partners' wife constantly rails on the other partner, right? And he just doesn't understand why. And he notices that his partner's been kind of very secretive of late. Right, and they actually have a business. I forget what the business. A taxidermy school, right? So they do taxidermy. So then finally, the one guy gets sick of the wife, his partner's wife, talking down to him all the time, and he snaps back at her. Okay, so then the one partner comes back and is like, "You can't talk to my wife like that." But whatever. And he goes, all right, come on, and I'll share with you what I've been doing all this time. All right, so he goes, he says, look, Jim, I'm sorry about the way I talked to you last night. I know you and Darlene don't get along, and well, I just lost my temper. You were tired probably from too much work around here. Yes, I value your partnership highly. You've made this business what it is today, Jim, and I don't really know how to reward you. And Jim says to himself, you liar, you lying wretch, I know what you have planned for me. And he goes, so I think, Jim, that you were off take the rest of the day off. Might calm your nerves. It's well overdue. Why not take a walk somewhere? It's a beautiful day. Whatever. And then he starts thinking, it's like, oh my God, am I going to be pushed out here? Are they going to kill me? Is the business going to go downhill? He starts getting paranoid or whatever. And he comes back and he goes, happy birthday, Jim. Now you know what I've been working on these late nights. Look at that. It's like a panther. He goes, isn't the panther beautiful, Jim? It's about the most stunning job that Phil's ever done, and I have an apology to make, Jim. I'm so sorry that I've been such a nag lately. I promise I'll try to. He goes, you'll promise? Oh, Darlene, I'm the one who should be full of promises. I'm the only one who should. I'm the one who should be, if you knew what I've been thinking. He goes, it's the best job you've done so far. It's amazing. It's lifelike. Thank you, my friend. It's a treasure, and I'll value your friendship as long as I live. And in the final scene, he goes to sleep, and then in through the window comes the panther, which obviously now is brought back to life and the partner's going to be murdered. So he was right all along in his suspicions. Okay, then we got the Druid's Curse, art by the brothers Chiocchetti, story by Buddy Saunders. This one's got some pretty cool artwork. It's kind of a strange story, but it's got all sorts of kind of ancient Roman and Christisms things going on here, as you can see by the artwork. Got mermaids, all sorts of. This particular story is so wacky; it's all over the place. But pretty cool, and the artwork is great. And last but not least, we got Gunsmoke Charlie. Actually, no, I think there's another one after that. Alan Weiss, art and story. Basically, this one here is about basically selling your soul to the devil. So this one guy wants to be a great shot. He wants to be a great, marksman, gunsmoke. I give my great toe to be the most feared gunfighter. That's what I was looking for. Gunfighter of all. He goes, that bad, huh? It can be arranged. So he makes a deal with the guy, the bartender, who actually turns out to be Satan. As you can see by the little pointy horns there. So he makes a deal to be the best gunfighter around, but it comes with a price, of course. And now he basically goes and gets into gunfights and fights left and right, and always losing, always winning, always killing people. And now he says he can't lose at all. And so he goes and I can't lose, right? So he's killing everybody. Now he starts feeling bad about it. So now he goes, I got all these enemies after me. They can't beat me fair. They'll ambush me. They can't shoot me, but there's knives and ropes and all this good stuff. Come on, Gunsmoke. I'm going to prove you ain't as fast as I heard. It's like, no, I can't. He goes, I can't kill anymore. I've done so much. No more. Gunsmoke Charlie's lost his nerve. He's yellow. Ha, ha, ha. He goes, Satan, the bartender. I knew it would come to this. I got to find him. And then he goes to look for him. And on the way, he kills more people. And then at the end he goes, poor Charlie, you cannot kill a being that has never lived, because he does find them, at least not by human standards. He goes, it won't work. Of course not. That's the deal, Charlie. No billet can ever pierce your flesh. So he's basically immortal now. So I'm afraid you are left at the mercy of the desert. You see, Charlie, you began your time in hell the moment you signed with me, but it's not all that bad. After all, the desert heat will be very helpful in preparing you for things to come. So basically he can't die. He can never die in a gunfight. So he's got that's the whole pact that Satan made with him. It's like, you are the best gunfighter around. You can never lose a gunfight. You will never die in a gun battle. However, you can die by other means, but you're going to have to go figure it out, a way to die, because he's going to go through the whole pact is he's going to continue to kill people. That's his whole drive, is to be the best gunfighter. Anybody who he comes into contact with, he's going to want to get into a gunfight with. So here, how does that end? We don't know. Now he figures, let me just go die of starvation and thirst out in the middle of the desert and get attacked by animals and whatnot. So yeah. And then the last story, art and story by Pat Boyette, is called Justice. This is a little weird one. Got some pretty good art to this one. Little ending there. Then you get a little ad for other back issues of Eerie. Normally you get the last 5 to 10 pages is all sorts of cool really ads for movies and 35 millimeters and books and magazines and toys and model kits and all that sort of stuff for the time, which really, really cool to see, but not in this particular issue. So yeah, there you have it. Issue number 35 of Creepy from 1970. I love that cover so much. It's so good. So anyway, and this, I bought this obviously, when I get this, maybe 6-8 months ago, something like that. I'm amazed at how this is in perfect condition. Well, not quite perfect, but the pages aren't really all that yellowed, and there's really no major dings or creases anywhere. This was kept. Some of these Warren magazines that I've been finding out there are just in really, really great condition. So and you can get them for less than $10 each. You can get good deals on them. So yeah, let us know what you think of this one if you have it. Oh, hold on, Flash Gordon on the back, right? The original collection of Flash Gordon comic strips, 152-page hardcover, 11 by 14 picture book. Yes, only $13.95. That back then was probably pretty expensive, right? So, yeah. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to the Sea of Tranquility merch page so you can get yourself a Comic Book Geezers t-shirt and or a coffee mug. So we do have a couple items down for sale there, all the way down at the bottom of the page. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon here on Comic Book Geezers. Wild Bill and myself are getting together this weekend, so you will see some videos with the two of us coming up over the next week or two. So stay tuned for that and lots more. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching Comic Book Geezers.